What is going on, fight fans? So we have more news and information. Now, keep in mind that information is very, very difficult to come by because a lot of what they're doing, they're holding it pretty close to the chest at this moment. But I have reached out to them and hopefully they respond. I want to try to see if I can get an interview with them, get like early access to the game, things like that, so that I can bring that information to you guys. Let's see how that pans out. But I'm doing my best to get as much content to you guys as possible because we're all in this community together. We're simply fight fans that are dying to have a boxing game. But without any further ado, I do have more new information from Steel City Interactive. This is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. A new video came out by Joyce, which is a heavyweight boxer in the UK. And he actually put out this video where he's at the 1024 studio and they're doing the motion capture. They're taking the pictures to go ahead and put them in the game. They're showing how, you know, they shave off different artifacts on models to make sure that it looks clean and presentable for the final product. I mean, 1024, there's no question, they're leading in this industry in terms of graphical fidelity. So I have no qualms with what they're going to do with the game. My confidence with them is 100% in terms of the graphical fidelity. But a lot of hidden gems were dropped in that video, and I'm going to go ahead and give you that a quick synopsis of what those hidden gems were that I haven't touched on yet. So if you haven't seen my video on the major news that dropped, the big news data information drop happened during the WBC convention. So that video that I have is jam-packed with information. This video is going to be more information that we did not get from the WBC convention, and hopefully if I get an interview with them, then I can ask them more targeted questions, especially all the questions that you guys have been asking me in the comment section. I want to go ahead and apply those to that interview. The first thing that we're going to talk about is that they went a little bit further when it came to the whole gaining weight. Now, if you watched my last video, you knew that I was excited for the fact that you can gain weight because you're not disciplined. Because what started to happen with me is that I started to think of why they were calling it an RPG. What made it an RPG, a role-playing game? And then saying something like not having discipline, giving me the idea that there could be distractions. That in and of itself is incredibly exciting. So I was just hyped for that because it just started opening the possibilities of what exactly is this story mode or this career mode gonna actually be like. Is it gonna be like a walking around game where you walk around in a world RPG style and you can select, hey, you're gonna go do this, you're gonna go do that? The possibilities are endless if they're going that true role player game route. And they did say that this is going to be an RPG. So that kind of perked my ears a little bit to hear something like that. But they went even further. So what they ended up saying here was that you can't just go in to a fight. There's never just the fight once it's ready. There's a weigh-in section. They didn't say there's a weigh-in clip. There's a weigh-in section. So there's a section where you actually have to weigh in. And if you don't weigh in at the correct weight, then obviously there's ramifications. I'm guessing it goes through all of the rules. You'll lose the belt on the scale, or the fight can be canceled, or it can be in jeopardy, or what have you. All of the different things that can happen if you don't make weight. I'm guessing that that's there. But then Joyce asked them, oh, so then you're going to have to lose the weight and like get on a treadmill and wear a sweatsuit. And Ash Habib, I mean, this isn't a confirmation, but he said, yeah, to all of that. So maybe there is an element where you have to focus on weight loss. So you have to hop on the treadmill. You have to hop on a bike. You have to go for a jog. You have to do these extra things and get yourself away from training to try to make weight. If weigh-in is the next day and you're not ready, you have to dehydrate yourself massively and run and do all these crazy things. It is possible, which then can affect you in the fight because you might lack stamina and energy because of the fact that you had to go to these extremes to try to make weight. So there was a little slip in of that information there, where there is a process other than just training normally where you may have to try to lose the weight aggressively if you haven't been disciplined up until that point. Plus, he confirmed that there is a weigh-in section before each fight. Also, in regards to the career mode, he said that it will be a full career mode starting from the amateur boxing scene. So you'll be in the amateurs. From there, you'll move up all the way to having a full-blown professional boxing career. So there's that path. It's a full career mode. We already know that you can go up different weight divisions and grab all the titles in the different weight divisions. So I think it's pretty cool that you start from the amateurs. It isn't artificial like Fight Night, where although Fight Night had a cool like cinematic story, you were in the amateurs for a few seconds and then you went straight to professional boxing and then you went straight to jail and back to boxing. It's all a movie element. Here is just an actual RPG of a person going through the amateurs and then going professional. They're also trying to get boxing boards from all over the place, all over the world. They mentioned the Australian boxing boards. They want you to be able to come from any place, any location. If you wanted to come from the US, if you wanted to come from Australia, it's up to you. So they're trying to get all of the boxing governing bodies and the boxing boards on board essentially for all of these different locations, which is pretty cool. Now, another cool thing is that Ash Habib said that he wanted to get Rocky Marciano in the game. Now, if you know, Rocky Marciano has not been confirmed in the game. So for him to know that he's being filmed, you have to take all of these things into context. He's being filmed. He knows that this is going to be put online. And he's saying, as the lead developer of the game, he's clearly saying something that he has to feel there's a possibility or they're within reach. So he says he wants to get Rocky Marciano in the game. So it's very possible that he can be one of the next legends that we see come into the fray. Now, Joyce said that he wanted to see people like Joe Louis. He also said Muhammad Ali. One thing that I loved was that Ash Habib just asked him point blank if you wanted anybody in the game, current, past, legend, doesn't matter. Who would you want? He asked him that with a lot of confidence. He just literally said, who do you want in the game? Joyce asked him, Joyce, I believe, said Muhammad Ali, and he nodded to that. And then he said Mike Tyson at one point, if Mike Tyson was going to be in the game. And Ash Habib said something pretty interesting. He said that the WBC is talking to Mike Tyson on their behalf. This is fantastic because it indicates the breadth and the advantage for their acquisition of the WBC. This was a strategic acquisition because not only can they have authenticity when it comes to the belts that you're winning, especially because it's the linear belt and the most prestigious belt, they also have the ability to have that connection, that networking that has already been built from the ground up via the WBC. So if a fighter wants to be in a game and they don't know which one to pick, the one where WBC is knocking on their door to get on board is gonna be the game that they're going to pick. This ensures that they can acquire fighters that might be pretty tough to get because they're hard to reach, they're hard to communicate with, or they just don't really know what you're doing. They're iffy, they don't know what you're going to do with their likeness. There's that trust in the WBC. There's that relationship that they already have with the WBC. Keep in mind, people like Mayweather were awarded the only diamond WBC championship belt. People like Mayweather love their WBC championship wins and the fact that they're part of that lineage. People like Mayweather might want to finally, he didn't want to be in Fight Night back in the days when he was fighting and he was current, but now that his career is ended and he's more mature, he's older, he's more focused on training and his business, he may lower his tone. And especially if the WBC is on board and they give him a call and say, hey, Mayweather, we want to go ahead and put you in this game. Are you down? It'll definitely help. We're trying to bring up, you know, boxing. We want to have Gervonta Davis on here. We want to have Devin Haney in here. We want to just put everybody in there, put everybody together, and bring the stars to the gamers to increase interest in boxing itself. I mean, they can make that play towards Mayweather, and with the WBC being the ones to do that communication, it can increase the chances of someone like a Mayweather or someone like a Canelo, who, by the way, they've acquired Ring Magazine. The owners of Ring Magazine is Golden Boy Promotions, who's the promoter of Canelo. I'm telling you, these acquisitions are super important. We may get all of the top fighters that we want, or a lot of the top fighters that we want, if they're going through this path of acquiring fighters through these different governing bodies. So far, that's all we know. Literally every single video I've put out, if you watch all my videos that I have, I think I have about 4 videos so far on Esports Boxing Club, with this one being 5. You will know everything there is to know about this game. Hopefully we get more information soon, as the release date that they are touting, or the release time frame, is late December, and then early Q1 for the consoles. So for PC is late December, for consoles is early Q1. I'm gonna try my best to continue to communicate with them. Hopefully they reach back out to me, and when they do, you guys will be the first to know any new information about the game. Thank you for watching, guys, and of course, I'll see you next time.